Mobile racing games. Go on the Play Store, App Store, and you'll find plenty of them. There's a racing game for almost anyone in the modern day. You want crashes and Fast and Furious level stunts? Asphalt. You want street racing and an endless vehicle roster? No limits. Traditional racing not your thing? Beach buggy. Want your racing as close to realistic driving as possible? Real racing. The options have never been so plentiful on mobile. Thing is, most racing games people play and love today are created by major AAA studios with high budgets. While it's not all of them, these companies really work to empty your pockets with microtransactions, with EA being the final boss in this practice. Which is why I've lately started looking towards the indie game industry, which has recently been putting out some top games. And it didn't take me long to find what I consider an absolute gem, a game that should really be getting far more recognition. That game is Rush Rally 3. The game is made by a small studio based in the UK called Brown Monster Games, and their story is actually quite impressive. It is basically a one man operation run by founder Stephen Brown, who has over 20 years of experience in the gaming industry. Before going indie, Stephen actually worked as a lead programmer at major AAA studios, and his portfolio is pretty impressive. It includes Crackdown 3, Sonic and All Stars Racing, MotoGP 2010, Split Second, F1 2009, GTI Club Plus, Sega Superstar Tennis, Broken Sword, and even Dirt 2. This guy knows his stuff, and the quality actually reflects into the game, which we'll speak on later. Stephen handles almost every aspect of development from physics, rendering, animation, and code. What's even more impressive is that the game uses its own engine, unlike most indie studios that use Unreal or Unity. Stephen also makes clever use of procedural generation, which means that most of the tracks in Rush Rally are generated at runtime, which explains why the game has so much content but only a download size of under 200 megabytes. And the game can run at 60 FPS continuously on almost any device. This is peak optimization here. I mean, like, this is what gaming has been looking for a while. Something I can run on any device quality. I mean, games are so poor at running and optimization now, but this is peak. If you go onto the Brown Monster Games website homepage, you'll see a paragraph that reads, quote, "The Rush Rally series is the only series of premium quality racing games in the world on handheld devices which are procedurally generated, with an installer size of over 150 megabytes, over 100 tracks, 20 plus cars, and playable offline. Nothing to date comes close to the technology created for this at Brown Monster Games." And you know what? I wouldn't disagree on it one bit. Now, what's the actual game like? Upon entering the game, you're greeted with a few menus with a host of activities to do. But you know, the vibe you get with it actually creates a really nostalgic vibe. Because the game has a feel, this 2000s feel. Like the PS2, PlayStation Rally game feel. It has that feel to it, you know. More gritty, back to basics, you know, the gray menu at the backdrop. And I really like the way it feels like that. You know, with all games going sleek, minimalist, this one's just simple, but it has a feel to it, if you know what I mean. Like anyone would usually do, you visit the garage first to check out the cars. This most recent version has about 23 cars, and yeah, sure, they're not licensed, they're not real brands like with real logos and stuff, but come on, who cares when they look exactly like the real models? If you look through the garage, you'll see all the iconic rally cars, the Subaru WRX, the Mitsubishi Lancia Integrale, all these top rally vehicles, historical rally vehicles, even the Audi Quattro. So there's There's plenty, really, and 15 of the cars are purchasable using in-game currency, and 8 of them are available through packs you buy with real money. As for car upgrades, it's as in-depth as it's going to get for a mobile racing game. Most games are basic with the upgrades. Like you look at Real Racing 3 or any racing game for a matter of fact. They straightforward, they have engine, transmission, turbo, just straightforward upgrades. But in this game, you can shoot individual parts. Like it gets detailed, like spoiler angle, uh, brake bias, damping, stiffness, camber, wheel size, so many things to make it your car. You feel as if you have full control over how you want your car to feel. You can play around with things, modify things. And it's this kind of detail that I really like, especially for a mobile game. It's really good detail. You can tell there's a lot of passion put into it. And customization is just as varied. You can make a unique livery from scratch, change the wheel color, mud flaps, and even the dashboard, but that requires buying a pack. Game settings are advanced as well. Graphics can be tweaked for each individual asset, but of course you'll put them on max because, bro, this thing always runs like a dream. Um, it also allows you to reposition your controls. There's a lot to do, man. Like you'll spend a lot of time on settings, tweaking, to make it feel like the game you want it to feel. And I love it. I put all my settings, and the thing just runs brilliantly. And difficulties, obviously, I put to extreme. There's difficulty ratings you can change for the game. After all that, you get started with your career, of course. This nice and simple, straightforward, nothing complicated about it. So you start at the bottom with a junior championship, typical rallying with you enter a grid of drivers and you race in multiple events. So in each event, there's races. Most of them are timed events, and you must get the best lap time in each event, as the points add up based on where you finish. So like first, second, third, all the way to the other finishes, all get different points tallies, and all the points are added up after you're done with the events, and there's a total at the end. And based on your score, you're ranked on where you finish. Podium spots advance you to higher leagues, and there's several leagues to conquer. It's really fun and addictive, because there's a main focus with the career. You want to conquer all these leagues, and it's very challenging, actually, the races. Of course, if you put your difficulty on extreme, which is I do, and play in the cockpit view, yeah, it gets really hard, challenging. You rarely ever get them done in one go. In fact, I don't think you are going to get any of the races perfect in one go because it takes a lot of driving through the maps, getting used to them, and trying to get the best time. But no, really fun, really enjoyable. There's a chase to it. And sometimes all you need is something simple to have fun, especially on mobile. Also, there's not one boring map in the game. They are all different, unique, exhilarating, and all of them demand expert driving skill. Like, you need to focus with these tracks, like, really hard. Every turn, you're not even listening to the radio guy because you just focused on every turn. Like, it's fast paced, the corners are sharp, and you're like, it turns everywhere. You turn left, right, and yeah, demands a lot of focus. Like you can't take your eyes off the screen, which is what makes it exciting. Like none of the maps are boring, where other racing games might have these long straights you drive for at a high speed, and you maybe stop at a bit of corners. But no, this one, like rallying, as rallying usually is, it feels like real rallying. It's exciting, sharp turns, really fast-paced stuff, and the graphics add to the gameplay experience as well. As I said earlier, the mid 2000s PS2 feel. Everything's very realistic now, sharp, but this one's more gritty, simple, and I love it. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's something I'm into, and it just adds to the whole gaming experience. So now, time for the thing that either makes or breaks a racing game. How do the cars feel when driving? Well, of course, the driving is brilliant in this game, as you'd expect, coming from Stephen Brown, who is his specialty in these mechanics. The handling is very realistic. Like, you need to turn properly. The handling, the cars feel different with their body roll, how they shift, how they move. It genuinely is really good for a mobile game, like really realistic. The engine noises vary. The cars feel great in this game. They feel substantial. Some racing games, the cars can feel a bit floaty, a bit easy to steer, handle. These cars actually take some skill, as I said earlier, to handle. They feel different on different surfaces. That's one of the other points I wanted to point out, because racing games, whether they're on snow, gravel, or tarmac, they feel pretty much the same. But on this one, you can feel the difference in surfaces. On tarmac, you grip more. On gravel, you're a bit more slidey, slippery, as well as snow and rain. There's a different feel on different surfaces, you know. And the upgrades, you can feel them when you drive the car. The upgrades don't just make the car go faster like other racing games. You put an upgrade on the vehicle and it just makes it faster, maybe top speed. Yeah, maybe the handling gets better. But this one, you feel the minor differences in the car. You feel it, the steering, the braking, how it grips, the balance. It has the lot. You feel the differences, and it just makes you more connected to the vehicle because it feels more real. And I love it. And once you are done with the career mode, there's still plenty of other activities you can do, like skill games, rallycross, single rally, single stage, hot lap, and even multiplayer. All of these events can be connected online. You can connect them online and compare with other players' lap times and even get a ranking on a leaderboard. So, still a lot to do after and compete with people on that scale. So, what is my final verdict of Rush Rally 3? Well, I think it's an absolute excellent game, especially considering that it's mobile. The download size is low, the feel is different, the cars are brilliant, there's freedom. That's a key word to put there. There's a lot of freedom in the game. You can change so much with the car without getting too many restrictions. You can visit these maps. There's excitement. It's exciting because some games can have a lot of content, but are they really as exciting? Those type of games with a lot of content. There's a lot of things to do, but there's it's lacking that special excitement. This has that special excitement to it. It's not boring. Let me say that. You don't get bored of any race, which is what I love. And the events, there's a lot of activities for you to do, and you can connect online, which is really nice about it. So if I had to give a rating out of 10 for Rush Rally 3, I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10. Why not a 10 out of 10, you may ask? Well, I always think a game can improve on itself, even though this is an absolute peach of a game. Well, yeah, I recommend people play it, give it a go, even though it may look basic from the face of it. It's exciting. So, yep, final rating 9 out of 10 for Rush Rally 3. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.